Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. Now this patch update that came out like 2 to 3 days ago really shook up the game and gave basically a nerf to all of the assault rifles, a lot of tuning within the tactical rifle category, and a lot of buffs being dealt out, or not even a lot, but a decent amount of buffs being dealt out for the SMG category. And this has sort of shifted the top guns in the game. Everyone is asking me for, you know, what are the best guns after the patch, different stuff like that, and that's all I've been uploading is talking about, you know, how the patch affected the game. But this is going to be the top 5 guns in my opinion as of right now when I'm recording this video, which is super late night on November 2nd. It's about to be November 3rd. These are the best top 5 guns in no particular order that I think are the best in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 after the patch. Now some of them are the same as before and some of them are switched out, and that's basically what we're going to be talking about. If you guys could smack a like on this video, I would really appreciate that. Like I said, the support is always amazing and I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. So thank you guys for always dropping likes, for subscribing, for doing everything like that. Drop a like on this one, and let's talk about, you know, certain, like I said, some of the weapons are the same and still are in the top 5, and some are new. But ironically about my top 5 here is about the weapon class that they nerfed. I still have a lot of assault rifles, and on the edge of SMGs. I'm not really feeling the SMGs that much after the patch. I really don't think, I talked about it in my last video, but I really don't think that this patch fixed like all the issues. But that's just basically my thoughts on it. It's a step in the right direction, but it's definitely the first step of many. So the first gun, once again, these are in no particular order in the top 5 because everyone plays with a different playstyle. If you play sitting back, you'll like some of these weapons above other ones. If you play aggressive, you'll like different ones, right? So the first one, these are in no particular order, is the Auger Dmr. Now, this is, in my opinion, the best tactical rifle. The fact that a lot of people don't like this gun as much because they don't level it up. This is like the best gun with operator mod in the game, in my opinion, just because the gun is good, the attachments are good, plus the operator mod. I run it with high caliber plus the 2-tap operator mod. So I'm basically shooting as a 2-round burst, and I only have to hit them in the head with 1 out of the 2 shots to basically get a 1 burst kill. And if not, it's 2 bursts anyway, and the bursts are super duper fast because this is traditionally a semi-automatic shooting 1 bullet at a time that becomes a 2-round burst because of basically that operator mod. The Auger Dmr is a top 5 weapon in the game, and this is a weapon where if you're posting up and picking people off of head glitches across the map, you can do absolute wonders with this thing. I dropped a 90-3 gameplay, and of course the nerfs that there wasn't really many nerfs that affected this thing because they basically didn't touch this gun. They just buffed the ABR, so definitely a good change here. And because this weapon was not nerfed and is still a god gun, especially with that 2-tap and the ability to manipulate the bullets to kill on this gun to make it a 2-shot kill, is just absolutely crazy. The Auger Dmr is most definitely a top 5 gun in this game, and if you don't think so, you probably, maybe it doesn't fit your playstyle. You know, if you're a more aggressive player, it might not fit your playstyle, or maybe you need to test this weapon out a little bit more with different attachments. Coming in at the next one is actually another new one to the list, which is the KN57. Now, I don't think the KN57 is the best gun in the game. I would probably put this, I had 4 of these guns decided, and I couldn't decide on the 5th, so this would, honestly, I know I said in no particular order, but this was honestly my 5th choice. But the KN57 is really nice. Now, what was nerfed about the KN is, of course, the nerf that hit all assault rifles, which was a slight reduction to the ADS move speed, side to side while aiming down sights, essentially, and a slight reduction to the ADS in transition speed for all assault rifles. Those are both for all assault rifles. So you're aiming down sights and your movement speeds while ADS are a little bit slower now. But the cool thing about the KN is a lot of this game and about picking guns is not just based off the core gun, which is better, because in previous CODs, all the attachments would be the same. In this game, all the attachments available on different guns are all absolutely different. So that's something like the KN, which is a sort of, it reminds me a lot of the MX9, but in a better assault rifle version. I like to compare sort of some SMGs to assault rifles. Usually the assault rifle versions are better in this game because that's just how it works. But the KN is great due to the class step and what you can get on it. I believe it has, does it have hybrid mags, and it also has a decent sight, so you don't need a red dot or ELO, even though I tend to have an extra slot available, so I throw it on. The thing has moderate, very predictable recoil pattern, and just the attachments are what makes this thing strong. This is honestly one of the better rushing guns in the game for assault rifles, and while I don't don't think it's the best gun. I think it was honestly my 5th spot, and I think the KN is something that, with the fact that these other ARs and these other guns were all sort of tweaked and nerfed, but this one wasn't really touched except for receiving those general assault rifle nerfs, which can easily be combated with just adjusting your playstyle, playing it just a tad bit slower, slapping on attachments to help counteract the slowness of the ADS transition speed and the ADS move speed of the latest patch. And I definitely think the KN is an underrated gun in this game, and it's sort of my sleeper pick. I can understand if people don't agree with this pick, but this is one of my sort of sleeper underrated picks, sneaking into the top 5 guns in this game. As you guys will expect, there's a lot of assault rifles on this list, a tactical rifle we saw, and a lot more assault rifles to come. Next is going to be the Mattox. Now, this is in contention for the best gun in the game, for the fact that the ICR and the Vapor both got hit with specific nerfs. The Mattox only received the nerfs that hit all the assault rifles. Now, what's so good about the Mattox is it has a little bit of recoil, but it's basically straight vertical, very predictable recoil pattern we've seen from many Call of Duty's past. But this thing is your assault rifle with a fast fire rate to also delete SMGs at close range, and this might be making its way into the overall best gun category. It's definitely a top 3 gun in the game. I would say the pro players are all gravitating towards this. I'm not sure what the rules and bans are for it, but as far as if you want an assault rifle that you can be deadly accurate with, that can also beat things like the Cordite, like, I mean, it shouldn't beat the Spitfire up close, but you can beat the MX-9 up close. You can beat stuff like that because of the fire rate. I think this gun is absolutely amazing, and honestly, I would not be surprised if this gun was nerfed, because once, you know, they peel back the first couple of assault rifles, like with the ICR, the Vapor nerfs, I think they're going to realize that this patch update didn't really fix everything, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw potentially maybe add in more recoil, or adding more recoil to this weapon, or decreasing the fire rate, although it seems like they're hesitant to touch those stats with Treyarch, just because based off the first patch notes, they touched pretty much everything, but they didn't really mess with any fire rates, and they didn't really mess with any recoil patterns. So it would be interesting to see if they were to nerf this, how they would, but honestly, it hasn't been nerfed. In the first patch update, it snuck through. It hasn't been touched since the game came out. Well, it has indirectly through the AR nerfs, but this gun is amazing, man. I really do like this gun, and if you're looking for an AR to use at close ranges that you can still outgun those snipers and other people at long ranges if you are accurate, definitely give a try to the Mattox. I think a weapon that a lot of people slept on early because of how late it was unlocked, but once people got their hands on it, really started to enjoy it. Now, the next one on this list is going to be the ICR. Now, the ICR got nerfed, got those AR nerfs to the ADS speeds, but it also got reduced headshot damage and a slight reduction to reload speed. Now, I think those nerfs are pretty intense to a gun like the ICR. This gun doesn't really have anything to speed up the reload speed, or of course reducing the headshot damage is also a nerf, but the fact that this gun is, if you want a gun that is simple and easy to use at all ranges, a gun that has really good hip fire, which I don't know why they didn't touch the hip fire on this gun, so you can outgun a really good fire rate, a really good hip fire, you can beat people at close range by doing that, and of course at long range it's sort of no contest because it's essentially shoots lasers. This gun is still amazing, man, and these ICR nerfs really they definitely hurt the gun a lot, but they took this gun from being probably, you know, a top 2 or the best gun in the game, this and the Vapor, to a spot where it's still in the top 5. However, there's definitely reason to take other weapons over this, like the Auger, like the KN, like the well, the KN, it all depends, but there's definitely reasons you would want to take like a Mattox over this weapon because of different things and because of the attachments available. Another nerf that happened to this was with the Grip 2, so now running Grip 2, it's still decently effective, I guess, but not as much as before because there was a nerf to Grip 2, and basically how effective that was, reduced the ADS flinch mitigation. But I think this class up, whether you rock with Grip 2, whether you think it's weak now and you switch the class up and run some different other things on this gun, it's still, the bottom line is it's still so damn easy to use, and it's just a melt machine. And because this gun is so easy to use, I recommend this gun to people that just want an easy gun that's going to get the job done and go above and beyond getting the job done, and that's what you have with the ICR. And then the number 5, we have, once again in no particular order, the Vapor. Now the Vapor, I made a video on it earlier, how I sort of switched up my class and I run stock 1 and stock 2, and with stock 2 you can actually like drop shot, you can jump shot and be more accurate. A lot of things were changed. With the Vapor, the nerfs it received, you guys should check out my full video on that if you want to see. But basically it received the assault rifle nerfs as well as a reduced close range headshot damage that's specific to the Vapor. Damage now falls off sooner, so less damage at range. And then high caliber, they reduced the headshot multiplier, eliminating the possibility of a 3-hit kill. This is going to be a 5-hit kill the majority of the time, but it is, once again, like it's like a mini or sort of like a closer range ICR, as it does the same things, but at closer range. I think the Vapor is still overall one of the top guns in the game. As you guys can see from this top 5 list, I have 1 tactical rifle and 4 assault rifles. So it's funny to me because they buffed the SMGs, and I think the MX9 is great. I think the GKS are great right now, but for some reason, I still think the top 5 guns, like the assault rifles, are still the go-to, and everyone is complaining about the patch and saying that, and I definitely do agree. Even though I do slay out with the MX9 and the GKS after this update, it's still, you know, just percentage-wise, based on the weapons where you're going to win majority of gunfights, it's going to be these ARs, and I think the main reason why is the lack of recoil and the insane fire rate. So there we have the top 5 guns in the game. Honorable mention I will give to the Titan got a nerf, so I'll just give that one a shout out. Honorable mention to the GKS for sure. I think the GKS would probably be number 6 up on this list, potentially even number 5. You could replace the GKS with the KN. Definitely honorable mention to that, and also an honorable mention to the Rampart, the other AR. Any AR in this game is ridiculous, and even after this patch, they're still the go-to guns. You just have to play it a little bit slower. The reductions are noticeable, but they're still amazing guns, and just the pure time to kill and damage stats are what makes them so strong, and the lack of punishments for recoil and other stuff. Drop a like if you guys did enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, and have a great night. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.